What is going on with Star Wars right now? If you're a casual fan who just watches the shows as they come out, you might not think anything of it. You might just think Star Wars is kind of in a lull right now with some pretty average to terrible shows. And you'd be right. That is pretty much the state of it. It's Star Wars is just looking for a banger. Star Wars is looking for a great project that brings fans together. But if you're chronically online like I am, and you follow a bunch of Star Wars creators and a lot of Star Wars content on different things, you're going to notice that Star Wars is in a bit of a civil war right now. Now, I don't usually like to focus on this because that's not why I enjoy Star Wars. I don't think that it's going to do anybody any good, and it's not going to help make good Star Wars projects in the future. But where does this all stem from, right? If you have no idea what I'm talking about, let's go back and look at The Acolyte. Whether you loved the show or hated it, it's not my responsibility to tell you that it was bad or to tell you that it was good. I can tell you if I liked it or if I didn't, and I didn't like it. And that's pretty much where it should end. It shouldn't go much further than that. But in the case of The Acolyte, it has taken on a life of its own in a weird way. So basically, you have a group of people who are genuine scumbags, right? These are people who are racist, sexist, who are homophobic, people who just hate because they have nothing better to do in their lives. And when they see something like The Acolyte, they're going to find the surface level complaints that they have. Now, if they don't like the lead actress because she's a certain race, they're going to voice it. If they don't like the person that's creating the show because of her views on sexuality, they're going to voice it. And it's unfortunate. We do have the right to share our opinions. And not everyone's opinions are going to be great. But not everybody that hates The Acolyte is a racist, sexist, or homophobe. So if you don't know, the lead actress for The Acolyte basically went on a social media rampage and called everybody that hated her show racist, and just basically chalked it up to that. You do have some hyper fans that will defend it tooth and nail, and again, they're going to ignore actual criticism about the story, about the characters, about the plot holes, about the overall show as a whole, and focus on this one thing. Now, I really think that this hateful group is a small minority of the Star Wars fandom. The Star Wars fandom is huge. Look at any of the huge Star Wars events that take place. Look at all the people that attend. There is so much acceptance and love and just passion for this franchise. And if you only look online, you're not going to see that. All you're going to see is a lot of hate. If that is what you surround yourself with, that's what you're going to see. If you look at any Star Wars trailer and you go into the comment section, most of the comments are going to be people just hating on it. But if you talk to people in real life, you speak to people about what they thought about something, they can give you legit reasons as to why they liked something or didn't like something. I think the biggest problem comes from being able to say the worst things you can think of without having any real life consequence. If I went up to an actor that I didn't like and just said the worst things that I could think of about them to their face, there would be consequence, right? I'd probably get punched in the face. But if you're a keyboard warrior who goes on Twitter and just says the most heinous stuff you can think of, not a lot of consequence from that. Maybe you get banned, but that's it, right? The main thing that I want to highlight here is that there is a lot of negativity coming from every side. The creators at Lucasfilm seem to be turning a blind eye to the actual criticisms of Star Wars, basically saying that if you don't like my show, it's because of these reasons, not because it's not a good show. Instead of listening to the real fans and realizing that, okay, you know what, this show does need work, this franchise does need work. And on the other hand, you have creators who are speaking their mind and they're getting hate from deranged individuals online, but they're also getting hate from the people at Lucasfilm and Disney and the people working on Star Wars. I can almost guarantee you every Star Wars creator All they want is a good Star Wars project. And that's how the fans are. If you're just a normal everyday fan that doesn't lurk online, you just want good stuff. You just want to be able to talk to your friends about Star Wars. I remember Star Wars didn't always used to be like this. Star Wars before YouTube and social media was just you and your friends outside pretending to be Jedi or Sith and fighting with toy lightsabers.
Anger is not the way of a Jedi!
Or pretending to be bounty hunters, whatever, and coming up with theories as to why things happen in Star Wars, or coming up with little reasons in your own head as to why, you know, things are the way that they are, coming up with, you know, new ideas and, you know, playing pretend and just, you know, enjoying the universe for what it was. You know, as we get older, those conversations become more in depth and more informed. You're able to find a lot more content around it, explaining certain things, and the conversations become different, but the love of the franchise, you know, should be the same, but it's not right now. It's in a weird spot. It feels like Lucasfilm wants to hire people to tell these stories within Star Wars, but they're trying to almost in a way prove fans wrong by forcing them to like something that isn't really genuine to Star Wars, or they try to tell a certain story and say that it's Star Wars because it takes place in the universe, but the setting isn't enough to make a Star Wars story a Star Wars story. You have to capture what fans love about the series. You have to capture the themes and the tone and everything that makes Star Wars great. You have to follow the rules of the universe. You have to follow the established lore. You have to be sure that you add and not destroy what is already there. And we did get some of that, like with The Mandalorian, with Ahsoka, you know, some of these things, you know, there's genuine, you know, attempts there, but it seems like with each project that comes out, the hole is kind of getting dug deeper and deeper. And in order to get out of it, I think that the fix to this is get passionate creators who know what they're doing to create like one really good trilogy, really good movies, not Disney Plus content. Disney Plus content should be extra. It should be something in between the films to give fans something to consume. It shouldn't be the only thing that Star Wars has to offer. I don't know. It's a weird time as a Star Wars fan right now. It feels like the online discourse makes the series very unenjoyable. And it seems like every project that's coming out is just met with a bunch of hate and negativity, and it's kind of taking the joy away from it. And I don't think that the solution is to just not watch Star Wars content online, because I also enjoy watching Star Wars content. I like making Star Wars content. I just want to be able to talk positively about it. You know, I don't want to see creators coming after other creators, or, you know, people blaming fans for the failure of something when it just wasn't good. Like, I don't like to see the constant finger pointing back and forth between everybody. And I think in a perfect world, it would be much better if there was more of a focus on a collaborative effort to bring Star Wars back to where it was. And that starts with Lucasfilm listening to the genuine fans that have genuine concerns about the series. You know, just because you own it doesn't mean that whatever you do with it, we're just going to automatically like. You have to care about it. But I don't know. That's just my little rant about the state of Star Wars. Let me know down below how you feel about everything, because right now it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel like something that I really want to be a part of anymore, which sucks, because it's something that I love. I clearly love Star Wars a lot, and I just want to enjoy it like I used to. So I think if I make any more Star Wars content from here on out, I'm only going to focus on the positives. If a show comes out and I don't like it, I'm probably not going to talk about it. If the Rey movie does ever get made and comes out and it flops, I'm probably not going to talk about it because it would just be me saying I told you so. So I'm editing this right now, and actually just the other day they announced that the Rey movie isn't even being made anymore, or it's, you know, in production hell or whatever, which, to be honest, I feel like is probably the best strategy. I think stick with this Mandalorian Grogu film and then go back to the drawing board and figure out what story you want to tell. Figure out where this franchise is going. Figure out what time frame this is going to take place and just pour everything into it. Give us something great. I want to find things that I really love about Star Wars and share it with you guys. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.